New details are emerging on how two convicted killers managed to break out of prison and elude authorities for almost 3 weeks. David Sweat continues to talk to investigators as he recovers at Albany Medical Center. He was shot and captured by a state trooper on Sunday near the Canadian border. Richard Matt was gunned down on Friday. A dozen of employees at the Clinton Correctional Facility are on administrative leave, including the superintendent and deputy superintendent. News 4's Dave Graber is live in Clinton County with the latest. Dave?
Well, Brittany, as his recovery continues, David Sweat continues to divulge details in prison break at Clinton Correctional Facility. And what he tells investigators is important because it'll provide insight into the plan that he claims he masterminded. And it'll likely show exactly how David Sweat will spend the next, his life, in prison. Now, earlier this morning, I sat down with District Attorney Andrew Wiley, and he was telling me a little bit about how he was getting briefed by state police about the investigation and the interrogation of David Sweat. Wiley says that he will pursue escape charges against Sweat. Now, people may ask, why bother, since he's already spending life in prison for killing a Broome County Sheriff's deputy? Well, 2 reasons. First, a crime was committed, a serious one, Wiley says, and it must be charged. Secondly, another conviction tacked on to his existing sentence could determine how David Sweat lives out the rest of his days and ensures that he'll die in prison. Wiley says Sweat told investigators they did a practice run of their escape on June 5th. They saw and smelled freedom, poking their heads out of a manhole to see if it would actually work. Wiley says that kind of move goes to show just how bold these guys were to pull off the now infamous escape.
They did a practice run. They went through the whole part. They were finally able to break through the brick wall, the tunnel system, and they made a quick practice run, popped their head out of the manhole, looked at what their surroundings were, and then I made a plan to finally do the escape on June 6th after midnight with Joyce Mitchell's cooperation. It's obviously an escape that no one ever imagined could have occurred. And the elusiveness of Matt and Sweat for 23 to 24 days supports their, their planning and staging of the escape and the process in which it occurred.
Now, Brittany, Wiley declined to speak about the ongoing investigation by the state's Department of Corrections, mostly because he's not yet involved. However, he expects to be at some point. If crimes were committed by the 12 employees who were put on paid administrative leave, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, however, those charges would fall under Wiley's jurisdiction, and then he would most certainly be involved. We will hear much more from Wiley coming up on News 4 at 5 and 6. For now, reporting live in Plattsburgh, Dave Graber, News 4 at noon.